seven skies. So what would khalaqa be?
Oh, created, not
There
guided.
you go. Yeah,
Yes.
so there you go, right? So that's why waiting. I'm like, okay, let him read forward and then he'll figure out. Okay, great.
أنعامهم, the cattle, وأنفسهم, themselves, and themselves. أفلا, then do not. يبصرون, they see.
Okay, perfect. Mashallah. Okay, Sister Sumaya, what do you think?
كلما أرادوا أن يخرجوا, anytime they desire to leave it.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
كذابنا.
Sorry, what is Nadir?
Oh, warning, warner.
Warner, very good. Yes, Warner. So Alif Lam Mim, right? There's not much to know. When you see the letters recited as letters, we know that this is from the miracles of Quran, from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we do not know the meanings behind it, but we know that we get rewarded for it. That's also something that's a reminder of the concept of submission. With Islam, it's not that the only thing that you do is what makes sense to you, because we understand that we are not capable. We understand that we won't be able to accommodate and understand everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do or wants us to know about. And we have a sort of a trust relationship, a relationship of submission. And we know that when I recite these letters with love, with connection, seeking the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will get that spiritual feeling, and I will also get it on the books, on the record for my good deeds. Okay, next one. So let's focus on our first word here, because I'm going to show you a few different things here, and that would be our main routine. Okay, so whenever we are looking at a word, okay, so what we're trying to do is to firstly, we want to be able to understand what the word means. Okay, the second thing, which is more important, so I'm going to say that's the first thing, is to identify the root letters of that word. The root letters of that word. And our team has done an excellent job to basically even highlight those root letters for you. So if you were to guess, what do you think are the root letters here? Let's see in the chat. No one so far.
Ustad, is it okay if we also open our mics too to say it?
Yes, go ahead.
Friends, because some of us maybe are not figuring out how to type or want to type in Arabic, just pop the mic and say Alif Lam Mim.
Okay. Nun, Ra, Ya.
Noon, Zai, and Lam. Okay, that's a good one. Noon, Zai, Lam. Awesome. Good one, Lena there. What do you think, Coco? Is that right? I think she agrees. Awesome. Yes, so Noon, Zai, Lam are your root letters. As you can see that we have it in your second column there. And now we'll also give you the three prominent meanings that this root letter contains. Okay, now let me step back and give you an example of root letter when it comes to the English language. So if you imagine the word act, actor, actress, acting, to act, what do you think the root letters are in this set of words? Type it or say it. Letters, ACT. Awesome. That is great. Yes, so similarly, you have the root letters in Arabic language, and I will show you in a second why they matter. Now, I need to hide this, otherwise. All right, let me show you in a second here. So basically, we are saying that the root letters mean something around to send down, to bring down. It can also be related to provision. It can also be related to dwelling. However, you only need to focus on the meaning, which is here, which is to send down, and realize that it's from with Noon, Zai, Lam, and also realize that this is occurring in Quran around 292 times. So it's a pretty important word. Obviously not as important as La, which is 1730 times. Let me show you in a second. Okay, so here we have it in corpus, which I'll send you the links for. See, just like every iteration of the tool, it's great here. We have a lot of important things that you can extract from corpus, which we will share with you in a second. However, one thing that you notice is that they're not highlighting the root letters. Compare this with what our team has done, is they are highlighting the root letters, which are Noon, Zai, Lam. So I think that makes it much easier. So that's an improvement that we have done on this. Now, let me show you how, if you wanted to find out that, okay, that's pretty cool. Let me see what are other usages of the word Noon, Zai, Lam. Okay, so Noon, Zai, Lam. So if I just click on it, or you can open it in a new tab. and you go here under concordance, it will show you all the different places it comes, right? And a lot of the time you see it's coming as tanzil, which is the revelation. Okay, and you can do the same thing for different words if you wanted to. Okay, however, from our purposes, remember what we said about the practicing? All you need to do is you're looking at this word, tanzil, by yourself or with your friend, and you're saying, okay, tanzil, root letters, noon, zai, lam, has the meaning of sending down. Okay, let's see if everyone can repeat after me. We'll do it 5 times. I'll say tanzil, you will say noon, zai, lam, and sending down. Okay, once again, I'll say tanzil, you will all unmute yourself. All of you hopefully can do that, and you will say noon, zai, lam, and sending down. Okay, let's try that. I'll do it 5 times. Tanzil.
Nun, zai, lam.
Send down.
Sending down.
Okay.
Sending
Second
down.
time. Hopefully all of us together. Tanzil.
Nun,
zai,
Nun,
zai,
lam.
Send down.
Sending down.
Okay, once more. Tanzil.
Nun, zai,
Nun,
lam.
Send down.
Send down.
Sending down.
Okay, last time. Tanzilul kitabi.
Nun,
Lam.
sending down.
Sending
Sending
down.
down.
I like it that you guys stuck to the program, even though I added one more word. That's awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so that's what we need to do, right? So when you are practicing by yourself tonight or later, and hopefully we'll do some group practice as well, that's what you will do, right? One of you, what will happen in the group practice, and I'll tell about it later as well. Let me just do that right now. So the idea will be when I put you guys into Zoom breakout, someone can share the screen. You can slide it down. You can open up corpus.quran.com, open up Surah Sajda. So now the meaning is hidden. Ignore this last column of complex stuff, right? And then you say, okay, one by one. So I'll first say, let's say in my group, I'm seeing the top names here, Lena and Aisha. Okay, so let's say in the group, it's myself, it's Lena and Aisha. Okay, so now in this order, what I will do is I'll say tanzil. Lena will say noon, zai, lam, sending down. And then she will put the next Arabic word, which is al-kitabi. So after Lena is Aisha. So Aisha will say kaf, ta, ba, the book. And then she will say the next Arabic word, which is la. Then I'll pick up la and I'll say it means not. And then I'll say the next word, which is raiba. And then Lena will pick it up. So basically, one person will say the root letters, the meaning, and then put the next Arabic word. Obviously, you may not remember what the meaning is. So you'll think it for a second or two. If you can't figure it out, you'll say, I give up. And at that point, the person who's sharing the screen will show the meaning to you, and you will say the meaning, and then it will continue. So this is how you will practice in groups of 3 or 5, and you can do something similar at home as well. Okay, so now when you're practicing, you have our notes. That's a great way of practicing. If you want to use any other apps, there are many apps that you can also use. I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 links in the chat so that you can practice at home if you choose to. Other than that, I think the notes should be sufficient for you to practice as well. But for some reason, if you want to use other tools, here are the tools. It's coming up in chat. Maybe Rida or someone can take that and also put it on Telegram, inshallah. So you have that as well if you want to use apps and, you know, just be cool with your phone and whatnot. Awesome. So let's continue. Any questions so far about practice or root letters and the meaning? Let's take some questions if there are any.
Should we be writing them, Ustad, or what is the best way we can repeat them the way you're saying, say the root word and its meaning? Is there any other suggestions that you could give on? I know the letters can be, the words are something, it's any way that we could learn it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ustad. So yes, so the more engagement you can create between you and the letters, right, the better it will become. So imagine if you say, you know, I don't like this colors, and you write it down in you make your own vocabulary, you make your own cheat sheet. Imagine how that would be. And you can play with different colors. You can become your own creative thing. And you can also draw stuff. right? So one of the things you can do is you can draw stuff and then say, okay, when I think of this, maybe you can draw a book coming down, right? So it's really up to you as like the level of practice you want to do. Remember when we were seeing those videos, Habib was doing the same thing. He's practicing the same thing, but he is doing it in different environments. All right. So that's the idea. But hey, if you can't do that, or if you don't want to do that, no pressure. Even if you just practice, it will get you there. So the most important thing is that connection where you are exposing your ears or your eyes to the Arabic word, and your mind is racing to think about the English translation. That's the key component, right? And that's, I think, what will be happening, right? So for example, if you want to focus on the experience of Salah, then it should be more audio based, right? You're listening to the Arabic word and your mind is thinking of the English translation. If you want to be more on the reading side, when you're reading the page of Quran and your mind is thinking of the English side, then you can do that as well. And obviously, the more you can engage, make it more fun for yourself. Let's see who is more creative, who can come up with a better coloring scheme, who can come up with a better image. You can do all those things. All right, so next one is Al-Kitab. I think most of you probably know this thing. So let's do it only 2 times. I'll say Al-Kitab and you will say the root letters and the meaning. Al-Kitab.
The root letters is Kaf, Tha, Ba.
Okay, and the meaning is the book. Okay, so question was asked, how can you find root letters? Well, we will give it to you, so it's all there, okay? And you can also find it on corpus, but I think the main question was, how do you start seeing root letters? Well, the way you start seeing root letters is by practice. So what you will start noticing that it's like a Lego bricks, right? So you have a Lego set and you know that, hey, there are certain things that are enhancements, right? Those are icing on the cake, or they serve some other purpose, but here's my engine. So even when you look at the car, the engine may be located in different places, sometime in the front, sometime in the back, what have you, but you can start identifying those pieces. And as you start practicing that, you will see, okay, this is my root letters. I always see Alif Lam. I know Sheikh was mentioning this in his class, in his session when he was talking about Ash-Shaytan. And he said, Alif Lam makes it the Satan, the big bad one. Right? So now you start noticing, okay, that Alif Lam in the beginning is not necessarily part of the root letters. That's a placeholder that has its own impact and its own meaning, and so on and so forth. Right? Later on, you might see, let's see if we have an example here. Oh, you might start seeing that, okay, I always see this Ya Nun at the end. Ya Nun at the end, or I see Wa Nun at the end, and I'll tell you later, I'm just giving you a sneak peek that this means plural. Okay, so that definitely doesn't become part of the root letters. And I already know that Alif Lam, I saw it in Ash-Shaytan. That's something that comes at the beginning of the word that makes it like a da feeling, the big bad one, Al-Alameen, the worlds, right? So I know this is also not part of the root letters. So what I'm left with is Ain Lam Mim. So you will start getting that feeling as you keep practicing it, inshallah. Okay. So we did 2 Tanzil, we went with Al-Kitab. Now, another common word we have is La. La means no. So La is used to negate something in the Arabic language. It comes 1730 times in Quran. So basically, La means no, and obviously all of us know this. That's the first kalima. And the first word of the first kalima is La. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah. There's no God deserving of worship except Allah. So La ilaha, no God. Okay, so La means no or negative, not, so on and so forth. Okay, Raiba is also relatively very common. Right in there for Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim, Dhalika al-Kitabu La Raiba. There's no doubt in it. Okay, that's why we know it comes 36 times. It's a very simple word. Ra, ya, ba, which means there's no uncertainty there. There's no doubt there. There's no suspicious stuff there. Fihi. Okay, I just want to give you a feeling for everything. We'll do just one verse, and then I will show you something about the concept of pronouns, and that will be all for today. And we will repeat this stuff every day. So don't get disheartened if that was too much for you. I just want to give you a few different things so that you know how all the pieces will come together. I see Ra, Ba, Ra Yaba. So it's Ra Yaba. Let me show you right here. Ra Yaba are the root letters. Ra Yaba. Let's do a quick learning exercise. So if I click on Ra Yaba, open it in my new tab, comes here, and I go and I say, let me take a look at the list of its occurrences. It's 18 times. So first one, which we said, so the Baqarah, and all the way up to chapter 52. Okay, now here I want to show you something. So here we have fihi. Okay, fihi. We actually have two things here. So in Arabic, just like English, we have something that's called prepositions, right? They are there just to connect two nouns. So for example, if I'm saying the cat was sitting on this chair. So sitting on the chair, right? So you see the word on is preposition. It's connect the action of sitting and the chair. So these are prepositions. These are filler things that connect two nouns. And there's like 10 or 12 of those that you will see occurring a lot in Quran. And over time, by practice, you will pick it up. Also, I would like to say something that even if you don't know exactly what it means, if you know what the word before and the word after means, you can usually guess what the preposition means. So in this situation, the first preposition that we are being exposed to is the word fi. The word or the harf fi, which means in. Okay, let's do it 5 times. So I'll say the word and then you just say the English. Fi.
In.
Fi.
In.
Fi.
In.
Fi.
In.
Okay. So as an example, so think about one of the exercises as Ustad said that you can draw, you can write, you can also imagine a clip. So if I'm pouring from this bottle into this cup, right? The water is going from the bottle, dash the cup, in the cup. So I'll use the word fi. Okay, so fi is that. Now the next thing that's attached to fi is he, right? And that is something that we will call pronouns. So one of the big thing, right? Remember we're talking about the Lego bricks where different things are connected together. So one of the important things that you will see in Quran are pronouns. And pronouns are a very important topic, right? Like today, you know, in our world, we have solved all the major problems of the world. The main problem that needs to be solved is understanding whose pronoun is what. So that's why we're investing so many resources on that. Alhamdulillah, we don't have our Zoom set up like that, but when you go in corporation and you're looking at different Zoom, you need to set your pronouns. So pronouns are a big deal in 2024, starting from, I don't know, 2020 or what have you, but hey, we have solved all the problems. So one of the first world problems is to solve the problems of pronouns. But putting that aside, we are focused on pronouns in the Quran, in the Arabic language, and we'll show you a chart that was created by us or modified by us, and we'll be adding some more details to it that really makes it easy for you to understand the Arabic pronouns. So I'll stop. I won't mention more about pronouns until I show you that chart. Okay, min is another preposition which means from. And this is something I think you already did with Sheikh Wassam when you were discussing A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. So min means from. Okay, so an example of that would be if you want to have a picture, if I'm taking AirPods out from the holder, from the charger, from, min. Okay, let's do it 5 times quickly. Min.
From.
Min.
From.
Min.
From.
Min.
From.
Awesome. Okay, the next one is Rabb. That is one of the most beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember the dua that Ustaz was teaching you earlier about the hasanat? Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. That's the name we are using in that dua, Rabb, which means in that dua it was Rabbana. So our Lord, our Rabb. And what does Rabb means? It means someone who is the owner, someone who is the creator, someone who is the master, someone who is completely in charge of all your affairs. That's Rabb. And we are asking that Rabb, oh my Rabb, oh my owner, oh my creator, oh the one who's completely in charge of my affairs. I want goodness in my affairs. And then the last one we have is Al-Alameen. Al-Alameen. So the root letters are Ain, Lam, mim, which means all that exists. Alameen, everything, all the worlds, all the universe, and so on and so forth. Can you change your tab to the main ayah? I don't understand what that means, so please try explaining again. I'll show it to you in a second. But in the meantime, Alameen is all the worlds. Okay, now I want to show you two things here. So look at what Alameen is composed of. So you have Al, the Hamza, Lam, right? The Sheikh said 2 vertical bars. Remember that? Hamza, Lam. So that is for, it gives you 2 meaning in Arabic language. Either it means the, right? Ash-shaytan, the big bad one, the Iblis, the main one, the first one of those. Okay, or it can also mean all of them. Alif Lam can also mean all of them. Okay, so it can mean the, or it can mean everyone that comes from that category. So for example, if I say al-insan, it can mean all human beings, everyone that belongs to the category of insan, that belongs to the category of human. And again, we'll keep repeating that. The next, the other component that you see here is the ya noon. If you see a ya noon or a vav noon, it's an indication that the noun, that the word is plural. Just like in English, what's a common indication of something being plural? English test, ESL, TOEFL. S, right? So S coming at the end of the word, boy, boys, girl, girls, is an indication mostly, again, that's not the only way, but it's one of the most common way of making a noun into plural is by adding S. So in Arabic, you will see ya noon or vav noon coming at the end to make something plural. And that's all the words that we had for our first ayah. And now I'll move into showing you briefly about the pronoun. We want to touch the pronoun. As I said, it's a very important topic. We cannot neglect and ignore that. And then we'll do some practice if the Sheikh allows me, and then I'll pass you back to the Sheikh. Okay, let's see what the question is. Okay, so there's nothing to do for me. Okay, any questions?
Sorry, Ustad, did you just say ya noon and wow noon, right?
Yes.
For plurals?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if you're ready to move on to pronouns, let's get a PP in the chat. Root words for Alameen are Ain, Lam, Mim. Let me show you in a second, actually. Why not? Until we get a double P in the chat. So if I go here, I click on this, Al-Alameen, and I go on concordance. Look at that. 73 times. Wow. Yeah, okay, I don't know why the ya is not included. That's just part of Ain Lam Mim. The ya is part of for making it plural. Ya noon and vav noon is a usual thing. It's a common thing in Arabic that you would see coming up for making something plural that you will get used to. As you keep seeing it, you'll get used to that, inshallah. All right. Okay, so I think I got enough PPs for the pronouns. Let's take a look at those. So pronoun is our last page here. We'll separate it up as well. Boom. Okay, so when we understand pronoun in Arabic language, okay, we have a few different ways of understanding pronoun, which I'll be explaining it to you in a second. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about, all right, guys, remember I was talking about Habib, right? You guys remember that happened today? So when that conversation was happening, how many people were part of that conversation? How many different types of people were part of that conversation? Let's see. The number is between 0 and 4. So let me see a number in the chat. Let's see who can get it right. Between 0 and 4, when I was talking about Habib, how many different people were part of that conversation? The correct answer is, I haven't seen it on a screen. You know what? If everybody takes a guess at something, one of them would be right. Okay, we've seen one. Oh, I see the correct answer there. That is 3. That is 3. 3 types of people. Sister Aisha is right on. So basically, what were the 3 types of people? So I was the one who was telling you about Habib, right? So that's the first person that you see in this column, the first column. And that is in English, we would usually say I, me, my, or if you want to make it plural, you would say we. So that is the meaning of first person, the one who is talking. Who was I talking to? You all, right? So that's the second person, the people I was talking to. which have the pronouns of you and your. And then the third type of people were the people I was talking about, and that was Muhammad Salah or Khabib or anybody else. So that's called he, she, they. So that's the first type of classification, which is first person, second person, third person. If that is clear to you, please type a 3 in the chat. Thank you. All right. The second thing that I'm going to touch on today is the second classification that we have is the singularity, dual, or plural. So in Arabic, instead of just having singular and plural, we have singular, we have plural, and we also have something that's only used when we are talking about two people. When we are talking about two people. So singular, dual, and plural. So you have basically first person, second person, third person. Then you have singular, dual, and plural. And then lastly, you have gender, right? Male or female. So everything that you see here would have a male version and a female version, except only one thing doesn't have a male-female version. What do you think that is? So that's for you to think about. Okay.
We.
Nope.
I.
Yes, right? There's no male-female version for I. Awesome. Thank you for that. And lastly, I'm going to show you something. So you have two versions of it. Okay. So in the English language, we'll focus on the he pronoun. I know I might be running over time. Sister Rita is just going to give me an extra time, and we'll just have a backdoor deal here. I have to do some arrangement and do some time exchange tomorrow, what have you. Let me just quickly tell you about this thing, and I'll pass it on to Sister Rita. So
Ustad, I got you. You're more than welcome. I have your time. Please go ahead. I got you.
Thank you, Sheikh. Appreciate it. Okay. So we have, if you're just focusing on he, okay, we are focusing on he. I'll be giving you 3 sentences with a blank. I'll be giving you 3 sentences with a blank, and you have to fill in the blank. Okay. So I was telling you about my cat. Continuing the sentence, Dash is a cute cat. What would you put in Dash?
He or she.
Right. So focusing on he right now. So he is a cute cat. Okay. Awesome. If I say I fed blank, what would come here? I just fed blank. So I'm talking to my wife. He's asking for food again. And I want to say, you know what? I just fed blank. What would come there?
The cat.
Her name.
Him. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Focusing
him.
on him, it will be hit, right? I just fed him, right? Don't give him more food. Awesome. And last one there. This is blank's toy. This is blank's toy. His toy. Awesome. There you go. So that's what you're seeing here. In this attached format would be his or him. In the unattached format, or the format with the white background, you will have he. Okay. And we'll keep practicing that. Last thing, now bringing it all together. Remember, we saw it here, and I've said I'll tell you later. So he. So this would be in his or in it, because we are using an inanimate object. So that would be it. Otherwise, if you just want to go for masculine, feminine, it would be in his, right? Which we see right here in the pronoun chart. And we'll practice that later tomorrow as well. But in the meantime, for tonight, as you think about it, or as you read your daily Quran, start highlighting these pronouns. Let's see if you can identify some of the pronouns in the first page of Surah Sajda, or wherever you are reading it. As I pass it on to Sheikh Wassam, really appreciate the extra time here. Any last questions quickly? And now let me ask you the question again, as I hand it over to Sheikh Wassam. For real this time, how are you all feeling? It should not be only Alhamdulillah. Let's put a real feeling behind it. Let's see if we can get everyone to share how they are feeling now. And with that, I pass on to Sheikh Wassam, and I know as the transition is happening, I should be seeing some text coming on the chat box. Assalamu alaikum.